Okay, so one question I get a lot of is how to make an animal unafraid of something. Um, I'm actually going to put a few videos out regarding this, but the first thing I think is important is identifying the signs that an animal is afraid. Most people actually miss a lot of the signs. I think I hear at least 3 to 5 times a week. Oh, they reacted out of nowhere. Animals never react out of nowhere. There's always some precursor to the behavior. Maybe they snapped, maybe they yelped, ran, something along those lines. There's always a precursor. The problem is most people don't know what to look for when they're looking for those. Recently, I was over in Scott City and working with a future therapy dog. We were actually at the high school trying to get the pup desensitized. I got a little ways before I approve it for full-time use over there, but it always takes these baby steps along the way. So we're there, we're working, and we actually had an impromptu fire drill while we were training. And instead of just throwing away the training session, we actually kind of rolled with it, and we worked and used it as a learning opportunity to see how the pup reacted, and also to show the handler what to do during these frightful things. Well, also, as part of that, we ended up in the hallways during a class change. Now, we've been getting the pup used to all the movements and things that go on in a high school, but class change is a very scary moment. And in the video you're going to see, we're going to go over it and show you what to look for some of these behaviors, because the pup was very uneasy. I had to point it out to the handler because that's what my job is. I'm there to help you, the client, figure out when and where to do things, and also what signs to look for. So let's take a look.
Oh,
Sorry. I'm gonna make her stop for a second.
that's fine. I would actually take a step to the side. No, other way.
Okay.
Because usually you have her on your left and you didn't give her enough space to
That's true.
go there. So maybe take another step. Think dog body length. Have her target. There you go.
Nope.
Perfect.
Ruby, target.
There you go.
Um,
That'll work.
I'm sorry, baby. Oh, sorry. Ruby. Ruby.
Have her target.
Ruby, target.
Whenever she gets over distracted like that, that's why we train the target so hard. So that way it redirects her back to you.
Okay. Come on, Ruby. Come on. Come on. No, I'm not. I swear, Ruby.
Have her target.
Ruby, target. Good.
There you go.
Good job. Good job. Good job.
Waiting for that treat. There we go. Have her target.
Ruby, target.
Whistle. There you go.
Ruby. It's a lot of motion. Oh, thank you.
There, yeah, she's like, oh, I did it.
Ruby got the bag for you. Yeah. Good girl. Ruby, target.
Okay, click.
What?
Because there is loud noises and banging, and we need to
okay.
create a positive association.
Oh, that's what, because that drew
That's
her
what,
attention.
yes, that is what she's scared right now, not,
The lockers. drew her
yes.
attention. I got you.
So every time you hear another locker bang, I want you to click and reward her.
Ruby.
I want to pet her, but I can't.
Nope, not yet.
Not yet. You will
Okay.
soon. Hi, Ruby. Hi.
Yeah. Did you notice her eyes go really wide?
Yes.
Those were, that's called whale eye or wall eye, or it's whale eye. Anyway,
Target.
when you see the whites of the eyes,
Okay.
that is usually a sign of nervousness.
There was a lot happening.
Yes,
there.
so-
On the tail end of another lot happening.
Exactly. So
Okay.
just be very aware when you see her eyes go big like that.
Yeah.
I would avoid her going up to people
Okay.
because not that I think that she's going to bite them, but what I am worried about is her having a traumatic event
Right.
and getting overstimulated and then basically not wanting to go up to people. So,
Target.
good. Perfect. See, your eyes are going back to normal. You don't see the whites.
Good girl. Good girl, Ruby.
Very good.
Good girl, Ruby.
Okay. Good. Have her target.
Ruby, target.
Good. There we go.
Good girl.
All right, now we'll head to the rest.
Yeah.
Now we'll go to the calm classroom and work there for a few minutes before we...
Not yet.
Okay, so let's take a look at that video again, and we're going to actually break it apart because there's more. I just talked about the whale eyeing, the whites of the eyes in the video, but there's actually a lot more going on there that I think everyone should pay attention to when they're working with their pups. Okay, as we go through here, you can kind of see the pups getting a little overexcited. The bells have rung. People are starting to move around. The pup's not sure where they're supposed to be, so that's adding to the scenario in this case as well. Look at the pup's smile. It almost looks like right now the dog is smiling. This is a sign of nervousness generally with dogs. Obviously, it can... A lot of these, I'm going to say, can be moments of excitement, but in this case, it's a little bit of excitement, but it's also a little bit of nervousness. Look at that big smile that the pup's giving. Now, the pup is wagging their tail. Do not mistake a wagging tail for being calm. Oh, there you can see those whale eyes. Look at those whites of the eyes. When you can see the whites of the eyes like that, that means that dog is in an elevated state. And notice how that tail is wagging, but it's not in a consistent, constant motion. It's more of a here and there. It's periodically stops. We're redirecting the pup towards the client to give the pup a sense of almost calm, something normal. But notice that the pup gets redistracted very easily in this scenario because the dog is in this elevated state of nervousness. Other things, of course, to look for. Look at the ears are a little bit drooped on this pup right now than the pup's normal. Elevated, I shouldn't say one way or the other is a sign of nervousness, but always be aware of what is not normal for your dog. That is the key difference. If the dog normally has the ears up and they're down or in any state that's unusual, that is a sign of nervousness. Fidgeting, licking, all these are signs that the dog is nervous. Even though the dog can be wagging their tail, that doesn't mean they're completely okay with the situation. So in general, look at those, how many times the dog also flinched in this video that I'm showing. You can also see the head darting left and right here and there. All these are signs where the animal is nervous. If you don't know that animal, of course, you don't want to approach it at that point in time. Now, this pup is a pretty happy-go-lucky 6-month-old lab who's just kind of learning the world and has a lot of trust in me and her handler. But I always want to be aware of these, even if the pup is doing okay, because we don't want to have a tragic event where the dog either accrues a fear or a behavior that is generally not wanted in public. Here the pup is nervous about stairs, and we're kind of just working our way slowly. Notice a treat is involved. It's always the scary thing, then the treat afterwards. Okay, so watch out for a number of signs on the body. Now, one of these alone might not necessarily mean that the dog is actually afraid. It could just be in an excited state. But look for the context of the environment. Look for the context of the in this scenario, and also just the history that you know with the dog. The dog, every dog is an individual, and just like people, we have our tells. And if you know the person, you know their tells better. Same with animals. Watch out for whale eyeing. Watch out for sudden jumping. Lots of fidgeting. And also a smile. A smile on a dog doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing. In fact, most of the time, it does not. Of course, there's also the tail. The tail will be uneasy, even if it's wagging. If it's not wagging in a nice, steady Constant oscillation is kind of like, well, yeah, a little bit. That's more of a nervous, I'm not sure if I should be happy, I shouldn't be happy kind of scenario. So look out for these things when you're trying to identify if a dog is actually nervous situation. And in all honesty, respect that. The dog is trying to tell you they're uneasy. So we need to back off. If we need to desensitize and get them used to that situation, then we'll work on that. But it's a very slow process, just like anything when you're working with a mind. All right. Thanks for being with me, and I hope to see you guys again in the future. All right. You have a good day now.